Here's a sample technique that we'll be doing in the upcoming Chokes and Sleepers DVD with IKE Productions. We're also planning on having a bonus disc in there, head twists and head cranks. Okay. So one of the chokes that we'll be looking at in that program, we can do it off of a push or it could be a punch, but whatever that hand is coming, I want to get offline here. A really basic block that a lot of people know. The punch is coming, we're getting off, that hand parries it past us. This hand, I want to come up underneath, getting tight, and I'm using this bone right against the side of his neck. And then I'm pressing his face into his own shoulder, his shoulder into me, reaching underhand. And what I like to do is I like to take my right hand and point it there, which makes sure the bone is across the carotid artery, and then squeeze it in. Okay? You do that and you can put your partner out in a few seconds. So when you are doing that, make sure the partner taps as soon as he feels it tight and things might start to go fuzzy, because just a couple seconds more and he can be unconscious. Now, there's a lot of things about chokes and sleepers, and I'll cover them in more detail in the full volume about departments. Are they dangerous? Are they not? Okay. This is one thing. In judo, we're still allowed to choke people unconscious. Obviously, we're healthy adults usually practicing judo, and I've been choked unconscious. I've choked people unconscious without deaths occurring. So I do believe they can be practiced and done safely and sometimes necessarily. However, if you work in a department that doesn't let you use chokes and sleeper holds, you need to follow those rules. I'm teaching the information, but you need to adjust it to your own curriculum, your own department's rules. Okay? So from this, we do want to train safe. So when I lock it on, he taps, and he's tapping over here on this side of me, I let go right away. So you see that a little different. From this view, he's coming in, there I'm offline, didn't get hit. This hand reaches up, across the neck, locking it in tight. Okay? So, and again, this hand could be a punch, it could be a push, and with practice you can get pretty quick. He's coming, and you lock that on. Okay? Now, you can stay standing up like I was, you can take the guy down to the ground. So once we get this locked in and I have it here, it doesn't take much to take him this way to the ground, and I keep the choke on. So I'm keeping it on, put him unconscious down here on the ground if need be. So that's one application of the technique. Another application I like is, you're in this clench type position and you're wrestling around. What you want to do, you already have this one arm up here, right in the position you want it. So it's very easy to take this hand and you pop this arm up and go under. And then here you are, right into the choke. It's actually more of a sleeper because we're on the carotid artery and not the windpipe. So you're here, you're wrestling around, pop it up, you're right into it. Take him down if needed. Okay? So it's a good choke, sleeper, very practical and useful in a variety of situations, and it's one of my favorites. One of the reasons I really like that choke, sleeper, start again. I keep calling it choke. One of the reasons I really like this sleeper technique is because you can use the various weapons. This is the danbong or short stick in Korean Hapkido. It could work with an ass baton, anything you have about this length. And as he's coming in with the grab or the punch, you get out of the way, you just put your weapon across there, reach underhand, and suck that in tight. Okay? It makes it even more devastating, and it can be very painful. You can put a guy out very quickly. So when you're using a weapon, make sure you're conscious of what's going on with your training partner. So we are training safe. So it works with a short stick. It can work with something longer. Maybe an Eskrima type stick. So I have something this long. He comes in, get out of the way. Again, across the throat. Sucking him really tight to your body, an underhand grab, and sucking really tight with those. Okay? It doesn't take long at all to put this on. And when you're doing it with your partner, you'll see. And make sure your partner gets to do it to you. It's back and forth. When I'm usually training, Todd's doing this stuff to me as well. That's how everybody learns. The cane DVD that I did with Paladin Press, Here's a nice hickory cane. You know, I could beat him with it, but we can also choke him with it. Coming through from here, same technique. Okay, right in there. Could put a hickory right across the carotid artery, pull that in tight. He's unconscious 3 to 5 seconds if you really pull that in hard. Okay? You know, maybe you have an umbrella. Here's one of the unbreakable umbrellas. You know, worked with Thomas Kurtz to get this little bit wider handle so we could do some of the Hapkido techniques with it. Okay? This, yeah, I could beat him with as well. I could stab him, but it also works as a choking instrument with the same choke. Right across, suck it in, really tight. Now, if you have a really cheap umbrella from Walmart, someplace like that, you can still stab, but you might just break the umbrella if you try certain joint locking or choking techniques. But with one of these unbreakable ones, it comes in, you have that across there, it's not going to break, and it's going to put him unconscious. Okay? So with that technique, learn to do it with your arm, but then realize you can do it with any kind of implement that you might be holding.